morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome to Tesah Capital's unveiling of the collective investment scheme and the digital hub. My name is Inshira Ado. I will be your master of ceremonies this morning. Recently, a mentor of mine decided to take me on a walk through a chapter of the book of Matthew. And it was specifically around the parable of the talents. I'd always read that from a very interesting perspective, that if you don't use something you have, you'd lose it. But he used that to demonstrate what investment and savings mean and how different they are. So the first guy who got 1 talent, dug the ground and put it in there, says that's savings. And the other 2 traded it and doubled their money. That is investment. It has risks, but it has rewards. And if you work with a partner that has your interest at heart, then you're assured that you will get a very fair reward, one that will be way better than saving. With that out of the way, I would like to welcome you all once again and ask Ken Anno to share with us an opening prayer, and we can commence.
Shall we pray? Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for your grace and mercy. We are grateful for the gift of life. We pray for the success of this program. Most importantly, Lord, we pray for the success of the products that, Lord, it shall be to your glory. Be with us from the beginning right up to the end, in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Ken, for that. So, moving on very swiftly, I will ask the fearless leader of the clan here at Tesah Capital, the Managing Director, Eugenia Bashir, to present us with a welcome address. Let's welcome her with a round of applause, please.
Thank you very much, Inshira. You're waiting for the Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Reverend Obami Tete. He apologizes. He'll join us shortly. So the President of the Ghana Securities Industry Association, Mr. Winston Nelson, board members of Tesah Capital Limited, board members of the former Kiddie Fund Mutual Fund Limited, board members of Tesah Future Fund, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, our friends from the media, and our cherished clients and all well-wishers. I'm glad to welcome you to this ceremony, which marks the unveiling of Tesah Capital's collective investment schemes, as well as our digital self-service hub. Today marks another step forward in Tesah Capital's quest to making investing and the investment process easy and accessible to everyone. Investing should not be the preserve of a few affluent people. We aim to change the rhetoric by creating avenues for everyone, including those who do not have a lot, to create wealth through investment, while those who have a lot also continue to make more. Collective investment schemes are a key tool to achieving this. Collective investment schemes allow anyone to take advantage of scale, to benefit from diversification of securities and expert fund management services. Additionally, collective investment schemes are a major tool for mobilization of funds for economic development. Statistics on the industry show that net asset value of regulated collective investment schemes worldwide was about 63.1 trillion as of 2020. A key way of judging the importance of collective investment schemes to growth and development is by comparing gross domestic product to collective investment schemes. In the US, for example, the net asset value of collective investment schemes to GDP has grown from 94% to 118% between 2012 and 2017, and was estimated to be valued at 29 trillion as at 2020, $29 trillion, with about 45% of this held by households. Africa has caught on to this emerging gold mine for growth of wealth and for economic development. South Africa has seen a growth in the net asset value of collective investment schemes from about 37% of GDP in 2012 to 52% of GDP in 2017. What has been our story in Ghana? From a humble 0.24 billion in 2012, Ghana's total collective investment scheme net asset value is currently estimated at about 3.7 billion. This is as of June 2012. This represents a growth from a negligible 0.3% of GDP in 2012 to about 4.4% of GDP as of June 2021. Compared to the African story, collective investment scheme to GDP ratio of about 11%, Ghana is obviously lagging behind. Considering the advantages to investors and to economic growth and development, we need to actively drive the growth of collective investment schemes in Ghana. It's therefore not surprising that the industry regulator, the SEC, has directed that from December 31st, 2021, all investment amounts below 100,000 Ghana cedis should be in collective investment schemes. I'm sure that when Reverend comes, he will throw more light on this. Tesah Capital is therefore glad to introduce you the Tesah Future Fund and the Tesah Treasury Trust for the investment of your funds. The Tesah Future Fund Limited was formerly Kiddie Fund Limited. Its focus was on getting parents, guardians to invest for their children or wards. The focus of the fund has been widened to accommodate the investment needs of any investor with a long-term investment horizon. Hence the name change to the Tesah Future Fund Limited. The Tesah Future Fund is a balanced mutual fund which invests in a carefully selected mix of equities and fixed income securities. The equity investments permit rapid growth, while the fixed income investments guard against fluctuations caused by possible changes in prices of the equities in the portfolio. The Tesah Future Fund is ideal for investors with medium to long-term wealth-growing objectives and who are willing to accept some risk in exchange for return. One key feature of the Tesah Future Fund, which has been maintained even after its restructuring, is that it encourages and allows children to be involved in the investing process so as to inculcate a saving and investment habit or culture in them from an early age. Please look out for Tesah Future Fund in schools near you in the coming weeks. The Tesah Future Fund also has an optional insurance component which pays an assured sum if you are unable to continue to invest to reach your set target due to incapacitation or death. Now our new product, the Tesah Treasury Trust. The Tesah Treasury Trust is a money market unit trust that will invest in government and quasi-government securities such as treasury bills, notes, and bonds. This takes away issuer risk from the trust and can therefore be said to be a zero-risk fund. To enable anyone and everyone invest in the Tesah Treasury Trust, there's no minimum investment amount, which means that you can invest any amount. 1 cedi, 10 cedis, 100 cedis, whatever you can invest at any point. The Tesah Treasury Trust is available to allow you to do that. There are also no charges for investing in the fund, and there are no charges for withdrawing from the fund. The Tesah Treasury Trust presents the perfect opportunity to make a return on your money and still have access to it anytime you need it. Please visit tesahcapital.com for the particulars of the Tesah Future Fund and the Tesah Treasury Trust so that you can start investing. To make the investing process easy, I'm also glad to introduce our digital platforms, the Tesah mobile app, the Tesah web portal, and the Tesah USSD code. These platforms allow you to open investment accounts, deposit or withdraw from your investment account, and to have a real-time view of your investment. Tesah Capital is glad to be able to add to the array of investment products available on our market, and I will encourage everyone to invest in any of these funds. Tesah Capital is also glad to be able to further the digitalization drive as well as the financial inclusion agenda through the Tesah mobile app, the Tesah web portal, and the USSD code. Special guests, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for making time to be part of this ceremony, and Tesah Capital looks forward to welcoming you to the family by receiving your investment into any of these funds very soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Eugenia Bashir, for this address, and more importantly, for letting me learn quite quickly that the Tesah Future Trust is a product I can take advantage of, and I like the Treasury Trust. Do you know why I like it? See, when you have not yet made plenty money, and it's not, and what I mean is that your money has to do a lot of pakpakpa once in a while. So the fact that I can come and take it, go and do some small pakpakpa, grow it in some corner and bring it back, I like it. Yes. We've been joined by our special guest, Reverend Daniel Ogbamitete. You're welcome, sir. And understandably, in these times, if Reverend can finally make time to be with you, you have to take it as it comes, because there's quite a lot happening. We'll now take an address from the president of the Ghana Securities Industry Association, and that's in the person of Winston Nelson. Let's welcome him with a round of applause, please.
Managing Director of Tesah, Eugenia, a very good friend. Then our Oga at the top, Reverend Ogbamitete, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is always heartwarming to gather at outdoorings. Today, Tesah is not only outdooring one child, but three. The Tesah Trust Fund, the Tesah Future Fund, and then the Tesah mobile app. So we have triplets being outdoor today. And if you know anything about Ghana people, of which I'm one and Eugenia is one, Reverend, are you one? Okay. If you know anything about Ghana people, there are two things we never joke with: outdoorings and funeral parties. So you can imagine my joy when Eugenia invited me to an outdooring of triplets. Congratulations, Tesah, for adding a further push to our collective investment scheme segment of the market. Collective investment schemes have been around even before, I think, I joined capital markets as a very young man trying to find my way in a profession. But for some reason, this segment of the market has always struggled to come out. We had some data bank, I think, then had the popular collective schemes, which was at that time EPAC. They added some other funds to it, but I'm not sure those funds were able to fly as much as EPAC did. Eugenia has given you some statistics from the African continent on what collective schemes look like. And these days, with even index funds and everything, even in developed markets, the collective schemes are huge, huge, huge funds. So it is always a concern to us why in this part of our world, or in this country in particular, our collective investment schemes have struggled. Before, whilst the collective schemes were there, pensions came through, and pensions have become huge. 5 years ago, we launched the bond market, and the bond market has become huge. So it's always on our minds, why is this segment struggling? But we are very happy to see that our asset managers are unrelenting. They are willing to chip at this with new funds. These days with technology, we are hoping that we would succeed in chipping at it. 3 to 5 years down the line, we want to see a really dynamic collective investment scheme with almost everybody participating. I'm sure Reverend will allude to this, but it all came to us as a big shock when, therefore, we having all these gung-ho targets, gung-ho desires to see collective schemes grow. All of a sudden, we see an e-levy of 1.7%. So, Eugenia, your USSD code will be will most likely potentially be attracting a 1.7% on transfers. And on this score, we at GSIA have taken note about this. It is a big concern to us as well. The asset managers segment of GSIA has been working at this. The idea would be to approach our regulator, and if they can also lead us to the place where we can also go and make some, we can also put a convincing argument to make sure that this does not slow down this industry from taking off the way we believe it should take off. It is the investment of 10 cedis, 20 cedis, etc., that would bring a whole lot of different type of investors into our markets. It is always difficult to see the benefit of you investing directly with 100 cedis. But if you can pool and put it in a fund, and the fund is doing very well, you get to see the benefits of these things. Finally, I would just like to congratulate the board, the management, the entire team of Tesah for these wonderful products that you are bringing onto the market. I'd like to wish you good fortune. I pray that your products will further develop our market. I pray that you will succeed at what you have set your minds to do. And as an association, we promise to be an enabler to see not only your products grow, but to see that the capital markets, the operators, the investors, and all other products on the market grow and become what we want it to be. So help us, God. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Winston Nelson, for reminding us that funerals and Bojimo is very important to the sustenance of the Ghana soul. Having been born and raised and lived most of my life in Accra, I've seen my fair share of these. And they indeed are times that are heralded by a lot of celebration. And I think in this case, we can rightly celebrate the digitization of the product, where people can now use an app, which will be unveiled shortly. And also the fact that you've provided 2 further opportunities for people to grow their wealth. So it's definitely worthy of celebration. And at Bojimo, when we're celebrating, we're not just celebrating the birth of a child, we're also celebrating the future and the prospects of what that child brings to the family and society as a whole. So that's a fantastic insight there. I'd like to call on the Chief Client Officer of Tesah Capital, and she's going to take us through the launch of the web portal and the mobile app. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Catherine Ecker.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this outdooring of triplets. So I'm thrilled to be sharing with you what we've done in terms of putting Tesah Capital in the hands of customers and investors anywhere at any time. First of all, we are excited to bring out our Tesah mobile app and the Tesah web portal, basically sharing with you an opportunity to have full control over your investment at all times and the freedom to make investment decisions at your own convenience. Whether you're opening an account, topping up, reviewing your account to see how closer you are to getting to your financial goals, or processing withdrawal requests, or even putting a request to meet with an investment advisor. All our clients are able to do this with a touch of a button. We're also allowing you to really have the market, at the pulse of your fingers, because all our research material will be available for our investors to see what's happening in the market and make decisions on the go. So really, we're today inviting you to download the Tesah mobile app from the Play Store or the iOS and begin to experience the Tesah way. So today, as we're striving to bring convenience to the doorstep of every investor, I declare the Tesah mobile app, the Tesah web portal, and the USSD fully officially launched. Thank you.
I see about 3 people not applauding, so can you all in unison applaud? It's very easy to discount what simple launches like this mean, but someday in the future you look back and realize that you participated in shaping the course of this country's destiny, because when you look around the world and there are countries where we easily refer to and say, oh yeah, Singapore, they have a lot of millionaires. Yeah, that's how it started. Because out of the investments, businesses, and some of your ideas may get the funding it requires to grow. So again, we're very thankful that you're all here. We are very, very happy to have this man with us. He's a big man, and he's currently the Director General of the Securities and Exchanges Commission in Ghana, and also Chairman of the West Africa Securities Regulation Association. The first time I heard of him was on radio. He was giving investment advice. I'll never forget what I heard and learned from him. More than 20 years of experience in investment banking with the Data Bank Group, where he was head of asset management and research. He's also the vice president, or was the vice president of the Ghana Securities Industry Association, so one of the forebears of Winston. He also, currently the chairman of the board of the Ghana Investment and Securities Institute. He took some time to teach, which is fantastic. We thank God for that, because when you have the kind of experience he has, it's good that you hand it down or share it with others. He was at the Business School, University of Ghana, for a short stint. He's author of 2 books, including the bestseller titled 31 Days to Financial Independence. He's also credited with authoring quite a number of articles. The person who's done this evidently would have gone to school, so I know there are a few outliers, but in Ghana, if you are going to teach, you must have gone to school to be able to teach. So he holds a BSc Administration Management option, first class honors, an MBA in marketing from the Business School, University of Ghana, a postgraduate diploma in corporate finance and management from the Sorbonne University in Paris, and an honorary doctorate in management and Christian leadership from the International Christian University. Now, for those of you who wonder why a man with a title, Reverend, is an investment banker, it's because he's the senior pastor of a New Creation Chapel International, a charismatic church headquartered here in Accra. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our special guest, Reverend Daniel Ogbami Tete.
Thank you very much for the very long introduction. I'm usually used to very simple, short introduction, but that's fine. With your permission, I'll stand on existing protocols and to say thank you for the opportunity to be here and to be part of the launch of the Tesah Treasury Trust and then the Tesah Future Fund, as well as the Tesah Mobile. I know I delayed you a bit. I think I was caught up in some other, in fact, 2 meetings this morning. But thankfully, I'm here and I'm happy to be part of this lunch. So let me start by saying that, you want me to take off the mask? Okay, that's fine. I'm fully vaccinated, so I'm okay. I'll start by saying that savings and investments are critical, not just for individuals, but for every economy. And so every attempt, every activity, every initiative that supports savings and investments needs every support, every endorsement that we can master. But let me quickly add that it's also important to understand that there's a difference between savings and investment. From where I sit, or from my experience in this area for these past years, people are not able to make that distinction. So savings is that part of your income that you do not consume. But investment is your savings that you put to work. And there's a clear difference. Once you're putting your savings to work, there'll be some element of risk. The risk could be low, it could be medium, it could be high. But you need to understand that if you leave your savings without putting it to work, you are exposing it to the effect of inflation, depreciation of the currency, which can reduce the value of your savings. So it's good, and it's the right thing to do is to put your savings to work. But once you get into putting your savings to work, you know that you have to take some level of risk. And that is why fund managers or investment advisors would have to counsel you. They'll have to profile you so that you make an informed decision. If you take a lot of risk, the principle is that the higher the risk, the higher the return, and vice versa. And I think we need to get this message out there that savings and investments are critical, but people must understand that there's a difference between savings and investment. If you want to grow your savings, that is when you put it to work. One of the principles I've always advocated when I'm doing financial literacy or talking about investments is bring out the fact that money is a potential employee. So money can work. But once money can work, there will be some element of risk. I'm saying this because we need to understand that when it comes to investment, there must be a certain sense of responsibility. Many times people think it's the responsibility of only one player. I'm going to emphasize that it's a shared responsibility. And I'll talk about 3 different entities that, when it comes to investment, must be responsible and must live up to their responsibility. It's a shared responsibility. Now, the 3 different actors or entities I'll talk about a regulator. I'm coming from that stable. So there's a responsibility of the regulator. There's a responsibility of the market operator, in this case, a Tesah. There's also the responsibility of the investor or the investing public. It's a shared responsibility. And I'm stressing this because people are quick to say, oh, you as the regulator or you as the fund manager must do this, must do that. We all have our responsibilities. Savings and investments are critical. Investments are needed to grow your wealth and also to help address economic challenges in the economy. But the responsibility is shared, and we must all live up to our responsibility. So the message I want to leave at this launch is that when it comes to investment, it's a shared responsibility. Let's all live up to our responsibility. When you take the responsibility of the regulator, among other things, we have to make sure that we have the right regulations in place that would guide the operation of various players within the sector, because it's a regulated sector. So we come up with regulations. For instance, we have recently come up with investment guidelines that is supposed to guide the fund managers in particular on what to do and what not to do, how to, for instance, engage their clients and execute the mandate that the client will give to them. So we have come up with that, and our responsibility will be to ensure that there's compliance. And I can put it on record that we are very determined to ensure compliance of the various regulations that we have. We have also recently issued what we call conduct of business guidelines. Now, this particular guidelines addresses especially governance, corporate governance issues. Now, the challenges that we've seen in the industry over the past few years, a lot of it can be placed on the weak, or in some cases, lack of corporate governance. We've put in place, some provisions in the conduct of business guidelines, and we are again going to enforce and make sure that the market operators go by it. So I'm saying that one of the things we need to do as part of our responsibility is to work on regulations. Then we also look at licensing. Licensing is one of the things that we also is part of our responsibility. Investment or money business is regulated activity. You can't just get up and then get into the business. You need to fulfill some requirements. Again, we have issued guidelines regarding licensing, and the emphasis is on having fit and proper persons to operate within the industry. We have made it tighter, and again, I like to say that we do not intend to relax on any of the new standards that we have set. We've, for instance, also raised the minimum capital requirement, and for those who are unable to meet it, what must happen will happen in terms of they having to look at other ways of reorganizing themselves. I will not give all the details here, but we are definitely going to ensure that we have fit and proper people operating in the industry, because that's our responsibility. One of the things we do to protect the investor and the integrity of the market. Then I can talk about enforcement, and I alluded to it when I was talking about both the regulations and the licensing. We have come up with a new enforcement manual, and we have added to the number of warm bodies we have in that area. And again, we are sending a signal that enforcement is going to be very strong going forward, because we need to send the right signals to the market, to the investing public, that the regulator would not sit or look on unconcerned, but would ensure that bad behavior is nipped in the bud, and the market operators stay on the straight and the narrow. And then another part of our responsibility has to do with investor education. When we went through the cleanup exercise, one of the things that came up strongly was the fact that people do not really understand the whole capital market investments and all of that. And people did think that if they had more knowledge, they would have done in a better way. And we have, again, put in place a program, and this time we are not going to make it a flash in the pan. We are going to have it as a sustained approach to getting information out there to the investing public, including creating access on our website to information that would help the investing public make the right decisions. Then let me now move to the responsibility of the market operators, in this case, Tesah. So we expect the market operators to live up to their fiduciary role because you are dealing with what we call OPM, other people's money, okay? And there's a way in which we expect you to behave. We have a compliance manual that all market operators are supposed to work with. The conduct of business guidelines, as I said earlier, also has a number of provisions. But it's important that the market operators live up to their fiduciary role. Then I want to also mention the role of professionalism, because it's important for market operators and fund managers, when you're doing your work, you have to be very professional. You cannot, for instance, invest assets of a client or an asset owner in some vehicle that doesn't match the risk profile, for instance, of that particular client. You know, you need to be very professional in the way you get the work done, the way you engage the client. So professionalism, and it requires making sure that you have the right kind of human capital and systems in place to ensure that. Another aspect of the responsibility of market operators I'd like to highlight is compliance. And we have made it a requirement to license compliance officers, and we require that the management team, the boards, should give all the support to the compliance officers so that they can get their job done. Another aspect of the responsibility of market operators is on giving adequate disclosure to their client. And again, without boring you, but we saw instances of a lot of clients not knowing where their money was going. At least we've been told that Tesah Treasury Trust, it's Treasury bills, Treasury notes, and Treasury bonds. So if you subscribe and you find that there are other things other than Treasury notes, Treasury bills, Treasury bonds, then you know that there's a problem and you should begin to ask questions. So adequate disclosure is important. Then let me move, as I get to the end of my brief remarks, to the responsibility of the investing public. Remember, I'm saying it's a shared responsibility. As a regulator, I have a role, the market operators have a role, but the investing public, please, it's important for the investing public to understand their responsibility. When it comes to investment, at the minimum, you must seek to understand the product. Please do not say that, oh, my brother or my cousin or my sister or my uncle says it is good, and so I'm also committing resources. Seek to understand the product. One of the respected people in the area of investment, he has made his wealth in investment. I believe many of us know about him or have heard about him, Warren Buffett. He says if he does not understand a product, he will not put his money in it. And when, where I sit as a regulator and we get complaints, especially around this time when all kinds of unscrupulous people are coming up with schemes to scam people, they will tell you that we'll give you 10% every day, some every week, some ridiculous, offers. The question is, do you understand what they are doing to be able to promise you those returns? You need to take time to understand. But you don't. If you don't take time to understand, and then you get scammed, and then you'll be looking to someone to bail you out, you are shaking your responsibility. So as an investor, it's important that you take time to understand products. I want to also recommend that your responsibility as an investor or for the investing public is to buy products. Please don't go chasing returns. You have to buy products. So if they say Tesah Treasury Trust, what is that product? Understand the product. If they say Tesah Future Fund, they say it's a balanced fund. So ask yourself, do I need a balanced fund? What would a balanced fund do for me? Is it ideal for my retirement savings or my retirement plan, etc., etc.? You need to understand. The Tesah Treasury Trust, for instance, may be suited for your emergency fund because of the nature. But I'm saying that buy products. Don't go chasing returns. People have chased returns, and it has become something else. So the responsibility of the investing public, buy products. Buy products. Do not chase returns. The last aspect of the responsibility of the investing public I want to mention is, please, you are responsible to ask questions. Ask questions. When you are not clear, ask. If the answer or the answers you get are not convincing, then, make up your mind. I remember some years back, there was some particular incident that happened, and then there was the issue that a particular company, for instance, wasn't producing results. And, the comment that some of us made, or the thought we had, is that the fact that someone doesn't produce some results, that in itself is information. I don't know whether you're getting it. You say, okay, I'm looking for information. This company hasn't giving information. Why? Give information. Now, if that company fails or persists not to provide information, that non-provision itself is information. In other words, it has a sense of signal to you that all may not be well. Okay, so I'm just saying that for the investing public, we need to come to the point where we ask questions and we take responsibility for the investment decisions that we make. It is very important. And I'm saying this especially because I've come here to the launch of the Tesah Capital. I sit as the Director General. I don't want you to say that, hey, because the DG of SEC came to the launch, it means that I have to, by all means, put my money into it. I'm not here to endorse the products. I can't do that because as a regulator, there are different products that I have oversight of. I'm here because I believe that investment, and in particular investment in collective investment schemes, are very good. Actually, I want to say that as the SEC, we are signaling, and we've sent this message to the fund managers, that we want collective investment schemes to be the default investment vehicles for the average investor. And we're going to throw every resource we have to support having strong, viable collective investment schemes. Okay, so I'm here to say that I like what Tesah is doing, but if you are going to invest, ask questions. I hope you understand. You must ask questions, But I would like to end by saying that, collective investment schemes is the way to go. This is not the forum for me to talk about the benefits of it. But we've done a lot of work in terms of the cleanup in the asset management space. And I'm happy that we still have a lot of good fund managers in the system. And I would encourage the investing public not to be shy about investing. It still pays to invest your money, because if you leave your money just as savings, inflation can erode its value. But put your money to work, and the way to put it to work is to invest it. And one of the very good vehicles that you can select is the collective investment schemes. Here we are Tesah is introducing 2 new collective investment schemes, the Tesah Treasury Trust, the Tesah Future Fund. And they've made it easy for you to also have that investing experience with the Tesah Mobile. I think it's a very nice combination. So take time to understand the product and buy the product, and follow your investment and help yourself, your family to achieve your investment goals and objectives. So I'm very happy that we are seeing this, and I know that there are a number of more CIS that will be coming. At least I know we have a number of them that we are looking at, and I encourage the fund managers, because there will be competition, there will be other CIS in the system. Let your own stand out. Do a good job managing it. I think the Tesah Mobile itself will just make your own, stand out right from the word go. And I think that I just hope it's user friendly. It's not, because I tried some other one and I abandoned it. So maybe I'll download it and then I will give you feedback, maybe through Eugenia. But I'd like to congratulate, before I take my seat, Tesah Capital for adding some color to the range of products that we have. Under our Capital Market Master Plan that we recently launched, one of the pillars is to improve the diversity of investment products that we have. And I'm happy that Tesah is helping us to achieve that goal with the launch of the Tesah Future Fund and then the Tesah Treasury Trust, anchored with the Tesah Mobile. So thank you for your attention. And I don't know if I'm supposed to unveil something or hold something up and say it's, but...
At this point, I think Eugenia and Kathy can join you, and they will be holding the prospectus of each product. And you can then, by the power of your voice and words, declare this fully and officially launched.
Okay. I'm so excited because I believe in collective investment schemes. And we have here 2 prospectuses for 2 funds, or 2, because this is a unit trust and this is a mutual fund, but they are all collective investment schemes. I'm happy, I'm privileged to declare by the powers invested in me the Tesah Treasury Trust and the Tesah Future Fund duly launched. Of course, once I'm here to launch, it means that we as the SEC have approved them. So these are not illegal products. They are products that we have licensed. But please ask questions when you put your money, because it's a shared responsibility. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Reverend Daniel Ogbami-Tete, for making time to join us and subsequently launching the Tesah Treasury Trust and the Tesah Future Fund. So the prospectus are available, and you can download the app on the Apple Store and also on the Play Store if you use Android. So there are 2 things I'm taking away from this. That the Treasury Trust is the go come easy. If you want your money, you take a little of it, do some back. When it works out, you bring it back and you raise more. And it doesn't have any charges. You don't have to pay to join. And well, of course, you have to bring money, but it doesn't have charges. And so we can call it low risk, easy, short term. Yeah. Yes, risk-free as well, because that's spending, that the money, I think, will be buying government paper. And as for government, you're a bit here. So no matter how long, you get your money. So, and then if you're looking for some long-term investment in a potpourri of opportunities, including equity, stocks, then you can look at the future fund. So let me not talk too much. I made the mistake of introducing the DG a little longer than he would have loved. But it's largely because I felt that you needed to know who was about to speak properly, because he dropped some serious nuggets, and sometimes it has to be backed by some pedigree. So I did not think it was for me to minimize and give you an abridged version of who he is. And trust me, what I did was the abridged version. So we're at the very end. Doc, you... oh, yes, I apologize. Yes, there's also a USSD code so that in the event that you lose your smartphone, you can always get a YAM and be able to... And in fact, if you have a smart code, there's some apps that I've been using lately. I think one of the telco apps, a few days ago, the app was giving me problems. And then I quickly switched and used the USSD code, which allowed me to do exactly what I wanted to do. So you're covered, whether you want to use the app or use the USSD code. Don't forget, it's *447 *707#. And they will take you onto a menu where you'll be able to choose the actions that you would like to take.